Welcome back to the Warcamp Broadcast, where we dive into everything happening in Warhammer Online, Return of Reckoning, from guild life and organized warbands to PvP, strategy, the ever-evolving meta, because they're actually updating the game fairly often.
I'm your host, Surjek, and with me, as always, is the Doc of the Year, Sheposaurus.
Yeah, I like the ring of that Doc of the Year. It's early in 2026 for that, Surge. I'm excited about today's podcast. We're joined by a special guest, Sigon, to talk about what really makes a guild successful, how top groups organize and stay competitive, and what players should be looking for when they're trying to find a solid community.
We're also going to get into the current state of the game, including some PvP balance, warband organization, why Return of Reckoning is still going strong in 2026, or why we think it is anyway. So whether you're a new player wondering about the state of the game or a veteran trying to take things up a notch, stay tuned.
Heck yeah. So let's get right into it. Sigon, welcome.
Yeah.
Why don't you take a moment to introduce yourself to everyone? Who are you? What do you do?
All right. So, I'm me. I'm Sigon. I started the game in 2023, like January. I've been playing off and on since then. I've been a part of a lot of situations on the server that have some notoriety, so I've been around for a long time. Right now, I run my own guild in conjunction with another guy named Kyre, and we merged basically two guilds, NGE and then Kung Fu, and we've been doing that for like almost 8 months now. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, how did you get into Return of Reckoning in 2023? And what keeps you playing today?
I was looking at private servers, generally like WoW servers, but I had like played a lot of WoW. So I was just kind of interested in something new and different. And I had never played Warhammer Online when it was live or current. It always looked kind of interesting back in the day, but I never had played it. And then I saw this private server, tried it for a week. Or I tried it the first day. I hated it. Absolutely hated it. Didn't understand a thing. I don't know. Something in me, like 2 days later, says you got to give everything a fair shot. And sat through, like 2 days later, come back to it, and I don't know. Something about like scenarios, just all that like hooked me. I was like, you could level through scenarios. And I just was like playing the game ever since.
Man, I think we've all felt that wanting to find an MMO. When all the MMOs were just starting up, you know, EverQuest, Ultima Online, it just continued up into WoW. Like, when you get tired of those, you're looking for something to fill the void, and there's very few good games out there that actually do that. And I think a lot of us have been in those same shoes. In MMOs, what roles and classes do you usually play?
Traditionally, so I played a lot of Final Fantasy 14 and WoW. Like,
yes!
I did a ton of that for a number of years.
Did you do Savage Rating in Final Fantasy 14?
Yeah, I ran a group with another guy, and we were top 10 NA through Heaven's Ward.
Oh, wow.
And then after the third expansion, I'm forgetting the name of it. It's like 10 years ago when I was in college. And we did that, and I was primarily the flex role. I played every role, so like any tier came out. We would always have a rotating roster to some point.
Boy, that takes a lot.
Yeah. I clocked 10,000 hours in that in 2 years.
So I played one role. I played healer.
That's awesome.
And like I felt like I had to just focus on that class, my rotations, especially in the harder raids. I couldn't even begin to imagine learning 2, 3, 4 other classes and being able to properly savage raid with them.
Like the hardest classes.
I played.
You'll never guess what I played.
Yeah, I played. I think
tank.
I had a character with every class maxed out. Then I had a second character with all their healers maxed out, like levels, careers, whatever.
2 characters. My God.
Yeah, and then I had a third character with all the tanks.
What's crazy about that is you have to get through a couple hundred hours of story to have two characters.
Yeah, it's
So, are you more
insane.
into PvP or PvE? Would you say in MMOs in
Um,
general, and then Return of Reckoning?
MMOs in general, I actually prefer PvE. Something about I don't
Really?
actually like PvP in MMOs as a whole. I think it's like, why play World of Warcraft Arena when you could just go play League of Legends? And that's
Right.
always been my stance. I think MMOs tend to do PvP very poorly.
Agreed.
Something about the PvP in Roar is just the fluidity, the bones and structure of the game is fantastic. Like how tanks and healers all like are omnipresent with DPS, and the synergies within all that is 10 out
Really
of 10.
agree. Really agree. The thing that blew my mind when I first started back up in 2024 was tanks actually have a role in PvP. Look at
Yeah.
That's what got me,
wow,
man.
ESO. Like so many MMOs, nobody wants a tank in PvP. You don't do damage, and you don't keep people
They don't
alive.
provide any
You just keep yourself alive.
utility. Yeah.
Pretty
Whereas
much.
in this game, you can keep your entire warband alive with a good tank, peeling, slowing, punting. There's just so much to it.
Now, I'm going to throw it out there before somebody else says something in the comments. Apparently, World of Warcraft has taken the guard mechanic and implemented it into their current edition of the game. I
And
don't know
ESO has
exactly
that
how
too.
it works. Yes, it does. It doesn't work the same as Roar, and I don't know how WoW's works either. But apparently they have a spot for tanks in PvP. I just want to throw it out there. It does exist. We're not advocating for anybody to go play the stupid game, but
But
you
you
know,
should play
before
Elder
somebody
Scrolls
says,
Online.
"Okay, here we go."
That was
All
my
right,
one plug.
Sigon. I got a question for you, sir. Switching gears a little bit, what makes a guild truly successful in your eyes? In I would say in Roar, but in any MMO,
Um,
but specifically Roar.
so like big things like I learned like doing it in Final Fantasy 14 at a high level, and then I did it in WoW for a little bit, toward in Legion for a little while. Was it's all kind of culture. Like I'm sure everybody's been in a guild, and there's just a jerk, or there's multitudes of jerks, or the leader's a jerk, and you can never talk to these people. You can never like work with them. They're stubborn to the core. People like that. Trying to build culture is like tends to be a difficult thing, because you need to be like, I've never looked at players based on like performance. Like the classic in Final Fantasy 14 was like parsing, and then WoW same thing, parsing. Like guys would apply with like incredible parses, and then you'd get to talking with them and like, I hate this person. I don't want to play with this person. I hate this guy. I don't care.
They may
So
be good, but they're not fun to be around.
yeah, but like it's also like if you can create fun, like you can work with people and you can get better as a group. And that's kind of it, right? If somebody's a jerk, nobody wants to hang around this person, nobody wants to like work with this person, nobody wants to get better with this person. So even if the skill isn't necessarily like perfect match, you can look past that just for like getting like to get along is to go along, right? And it's pretty much life as a whole.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I'd agree with that so much.
so
Like, and that leads into consistency, right? When you have people that you like playing with, you're more willing to get on every night, or on scheduled your raid nights, scheduled dungeon nights. You're always showing up, running regularly, and building that synergy over time.
Well, you asked the question earlier. What keeps you playing? For me, it's the community that we have in GWU and on the destruction side. I mean, I'm sure there's communities like that on Order, but I can't speak to it. But the social aspect of this game is what keeps me coming back. The guild that we have is what keeps me coming back. Like you guys are hitting the nail in the head. Like it's the people that you have in your guild that makes it successful is the people that you want to be around. I agree completely. So, what separates the top guilds from your average guild?
If you were to look at that like as a full glass, right? I would say there's not many like top performing guilds in terms of like a World of Warcraft. In World of Warcraft, there's a whole corporate structure to climb a guild ladder, right? And to get yourself further and further into the top, and like an NA top 5 guild or 20 top 5 top 20 guild. Same with Final Fantasy 14. And
Are we
this
talking
game, that-
leaderboards?
Yeah, like
Okay.
pushing yourself in a rating structure. It's very kind of corporatized to some degree. Here, that doesn't exist. I would argue like the top guilds, in terms of like killboard and presence, are just ones that tend to play a lot and tend to play a certain style of things. In Roar, there's only like, in my mind, really 2 top guilds on the entire server in terms of like structure, and then in terms of just gameplay. And it would be like mine guild, Content
Of
Dog
course.
Soldiers, and then Team Spirit. Like, I respect the hell out of those guys. Like, they come prepared, they come ready to perform. They're doing so many things outside of the game to make sure that they are a step above everybody else. UI, theory crafting, making their builds, staying really ahead of the curve. And then we try and do the same things. Outside of that, I mean, everybody says they like to theory craft, or everybody says they like to really think about the meta. I have not ever seen that. I have seen people struggle immensely with the meta over the years. So I think those are the things that really separate, is all that extra work that it's not even playing the game, right? It's
So it
sitting
goes beyond competency. It's more about, like you said, preparedness and
think about like
showing up on time.
Yeah, like think about Final Fantasy 14 or WoW. Like anytime we were successful, it was not because we were like playing the game 15 hours a day. You wanted to make sure, like when you showed up to play the game, that you played correctly and you like bought into an idea or tried different things or thought about different things before you even logged in collectively. And that's simply, I've found, not to exist on the server at all. And yeah, like I think nobody's really doing that. So
It sounds like you might not be in a lot of the other social circles that Serge and I are on. And that sounds a lot like what we do, especially on our LV runs and stuff. We're always talking. We've got separate chat where we talk about, hey, let's try doing it this way. While we're at work, while we're doing other things, we're theory crafting what we could do to make our speed run that much quicker. We have the second top time right now, Serge, and it's exactly what you say, and I agree. What separates top guilds, top groups? It's the even outside of playing, being prepared and thinking of what's next. How can we? Not saying that we're there, we're good, but how can we be better?
How can we be better?
Like a good example of this would be too, like in Final Fantasy 14, when we would prep for raids, we would sit and do add-on work for 10s to 20s of hours, right? We would simply just do add-on work, like making sure like we have checks and everything like available for all our guys, right? So we were like, and it's like, get your add-on pack, we're gonna like custom make everything, things of that nature. And like we're doing very similar things here in Roar. And
so you have guild add-ons that you use,
yes.
like specialized add-ons.
We have a whole custom UI pack, which I should take the opportunity to talk about it a little bit, is Fisk UI, which is a public UI. And
I hate it!
Discord link. You can hate it, but it is a great UI.
It's not. There's too much clutter, but that's all right.
That's a personal preference thing. I think
that's true. That's true.
Really play with Fisk UI and get a hold of it, and then it will elevate you as a player. And there's things you cannot like, but like just 2 quick things is like the buff head and the enemy all come preset up. What I would do is, if you hate how it visually looks, go download Fisk UI, rip the buff head, rip the enemy, put it in place of yours. It's
perfect. Like, and it gets constantly updated with the meta of the game. But yeah, like in Team Spirit's doing similar things at the same time, right? It's a lot of custom work. It's a lot of math computation, thinking about things not like with any feeling, but like actually making custom calculators, testing everything a dozen times, making sure we know what's broken, what's not broken.
Using
Even
science
then, we
and
fall
math.
through the cracks. Yeah.
Yeah, other games you see that too, like Monster Hunter. There's groups of people who just have their own testing groups. Like, okay, how much damage does this does? They know the movement value of each attack. So I see where you're coming from with that.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to push the outer bounds of speed and top performance, you're going to be doing that stuff. Anybody that's serious about being the best is going to be on top of things like that. I completely agree.
Yeah, so I would say that's just like the big thing I've noticed within the community itself is like I would argue no one is
Well,
really doing this.
I would agree with you. I think most people just log into the game to have fun. The competitive guilds know who the competitive guilds are, and those are the guilds that they fight. Everybody else is just trying to learn the game and have fun. So, and this kind of leads me into the next bit of questioning. Kind of a two-parter here. What is a mistake that you see guild leaders making often? And, well, you kind of already hit on the second part. So what is one mistake you see guild leaders making often?
Every ship has a captain. And I see a lot of ships without captains. Like, you see a lot of ghost ships running around. I think everybody is somewhat directionless. Having a casual approach is, I think, completely fine. Like, your fun is your fun. But I would even argue, even like the casual approach is completely incorrect from a perspective. I think most guild leaders right now concern themselves with only winning, that they negate to think about what's fun or what's fun for the other side, because in any context of winning, there has to be losing. And most often, like, the losers are not having fun, so at an expense to others, you are creating your own fun, but by proxy, off of somebody else. So I think, like, a lot of guild leaders, because they're directionless and they're just kind of basing everything they do off of winning, is not correct, right? Like, even us at a perspective, we don't show up to win. Like, that we obviously want to win. Like, that is like what we do. We want to win. We want to be like proactive. We want to have high impact. We want to be dictating things. But like at the end of the day, like we lose all the time, and like I don't sit there and like dwell on the loss. It's more of like, well, okay, what didn't work? Is the comp messy? What can we expand on here? Was a call incorrect? How can we really look at the call to make sure like we're doing something more proactive? Like a quick explanation on that would be like City. We really focus on like, is our comp going to be a stage 3 comp with champions involved? Is our comp going to be more of like a stage 1-2 comp? Are we trying to get a full wipe? Are we not trying to full wipe them? Like, what is our progression path to beating them, right? Is it just simply killing them a bunch? Is it like creating conditions where like they can't play the game any further? So I think we are really trying to push things like that, but like I don't see that pretty much anywhere else on the server. I think people want to win no matter what, and I think that's a bit of a silly mistake.
To summarize, are you saying you think the mistake guild leaders often make is their focus is in the wrong spot? They're focused on winning 100% of the time, and they should be focused. Right, and they should be focused on what's fun for your guild. It's not always about winning. It's about improving type of thing.
By proxy of improving, you will eventually become winners, right? And like just in the improvement, the learning process is so enjoyable to me. I understand like that's my fun within the game, but I do think like it is kind of a bad concept to be focused entirely on winning, because you get to a point where you just like you win and then nobody shows up anymore because you're unfun to play against, right?
Well, right. True.
Yeah.
I mean, that you kind of answered what I was going to ask. I was going to ask, you mentioned winning at the expense of others. If you got to make sure the other team is having fun too.
Yeah.
My question was going to be, how do you make sure that the other team is going to keep playing and showing up and still having fun?
Yeah, so I mean,
there's
a bunch of different ways to do this. You know, coordination with other groups, trying to talk with them, not to them, right? Like, hey, like oftentimes like people will come to city and they'll be like, I can't make a 12-man, right? I need 4 guys, and then I'll work in conjunction with them, help them get their fills. I'll even oftentimes ask my guys, be like, hey, who wants to go play with them? Like, they need this, right? And sometimes it's like that. Sometimes it's like, oh, hey, like maybe these guys are not to the skill level we are. So taking as much opportunity to make the situation as even as possible. Oftentimes that's either playing undermanned, oftentimes that's playing like a comp that we know functionally will not work, but we know like the comp has kill conditions, we can play within those kill conditions, and then kind of executing like that and just trying to play. I hate to say the word, but it's kind of like kneecapping yourself, right? Giving people a fair shot. And then if people want like to at any point to like really push things, like we're all about pushing things. They can find us anytime and be like, hey, we want the full experience. And it's like, oh, for sure, we can give the full experience.
That makes sense. So you talked about sharing members with other warbands. How do you organize warbands effectively?
I mean, how I traditionally have always organized warbands effectively is it's Discord signups. Use the raid helper signup tool. Give everybody 2-3 days notice. Like, hey, we're gonna have a warband on Wednesday. That signup's probably gonna go up Sunday, Monday. I'm gonna open the sign up publicly in the Discord maybe Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, depending, right? And it just depends, like, how many, like, if it's open warband or if it's closed warband. We oftentimes do closed warbands where we only want to play, like, 12, right? And in those closed warbands, when we need fills, it's pretty much DMs. Like, we want a certain person or we want, like, a certain class. And so we'll go headhunting, if you will, for talent. And be like, hey, can you spare us, like, 2 hours of your time, please? And usually we're met pretty positively there. Like, sure. And yeah, that's been working for us ever since. That's been working for me. Oftentimes, like Land of the Dead, things of this nature, you know, you do have to be like very active in /5, looking for group and looking for additional fills.
So yeah, you kind of talked about scheduling and organizing. Yeah, I agree. I like Discord for scheduling. They've made it really easy to set up events. How do you, when you're just doing guild warbands, how do you keep your comps consistent? Do you have the same people playing tank, guarding the same people who are playing, their DPS? Do you keep the groups the same each time, or is there a lot of rotation in your?
So this kind of falls into like recruitment a little bit. I don't recruit DPS players. I don't think it's worth it to ever recruit DPS players. This role is the easiest role to play in the game, in my opinion. With
Poor
that,
hermit.
like there's definitely exceptions here to that, if I may. Like there's definitely some exceptional DPS players on the server where it's like you get that guy and he's playing DPS because he is that good, right? But that is like 1 in 1,000, maybe 1 in 2,000 type of player, right? As a whole, I do not like recruiting DPS players because I can make any healer, any tank player play DPS acceptably in about 2 hours of prep. Like I could just sit with them. I was like, look at the positioning. Just watch how I move. Why are we doing this? Why do I need you to do this? You know, what's your role here? Like, How are you doing damage? You need to be on target here. You don't need to be on target there. Stuff of that nature. So I don't ever recruit DPS players. Like simply like if I recruit you, it's first things first. Is you're playing healer, and then you're transitioning tank, both sides, until I find it to be acceptable. That could take you months. That could take you weeks. It just really depends, player to player. So we do that, and then because like that kind of goes back to your question of like the structure of it all.
Right.
Anybody can play any role because of this, right? As long as they kind of have the character or class we're wanting at the time, and everybody kind of does play every role. Like some of our best healers will play DPS. Some of our best tanks will play DPS and MA. Some of our best healers can play tank. Some of our best DPS can play healer or tank, right? Like it just depends on who's available and then how the class fits into it. We tend to play in those closed warband settings a fixed comp. We tend to either like to have experimentation days with comps, or we have thought a lot about the comp and how like what our kill conditions, if you will, are. And so we just like to play fixed comps that we've put a lot of thought into, and then we map out everybody's builds. This is your renown, this is your tactics, this is everything. Like, and if somebody comes in and doesn't have it, like everybody needs to be ready on time, right? Like there's no excuse. Like everything's been mapped out for you. So if you come unprepared, well, I mean, it's simply if you come unprepared, you're wasting everybody's time.
Right.
And that's kind of disrespectful to some degree. And
we kind of talked about that. Was it last week, Serge?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So that's just kind of how we do it. That's how I like to do it. I've joined a ton of warbands. I've been in a lot of guilds. I don't like not being organized. It just irks me. Like when you show up to a group and they're like, and you have to ask, what am I playing today? And they're like, you're playing that. And then 15 minutes later, it's like, oh no, you have the wrong tactics. We're doing this today. And it's like, that should all be mapped out. And I really try and push myself to like, everybody comes prepared. You get probably a little essay on what your role is. Everybody, like an easy concept.
Bank would love that. Bank's gonna listen to this and say, okay, everyone joining the warband, I want you to write me a 5-paragraph report on.
It does not have to be this professional. I write it very loose. I talk like a little crazy in there too. I'm like, you just got to get this fucking shit done. And like, I'm having fun with it, whatever, sending gifts, whatever. But like, just simply like a very easy way to understand this is like, when you come to my groups and we're doing like a closed warband setting and it's very like, we're just trying to play like, we don't care about the stats. We just want to see improvement. We just want to see, is the gameplay look good? Does it not look good? Stuff like this. And when you come there, like tanks will already have pre-designated who's the first guard swap, right? Who sits with the melee, who's not sitting with the melee, right? And then DPS need to be omnipresent, aware that your guard swap, or like if you're not the MA, your guard can fall any moment. But that doesn't mean you get to play scared. That means you still have to keep pressing your buttons and doing what you need to do, right? So everything like that is like pre-designated, and obviously you'll get in situations where like there needs to be more, and then the expectation is if like something bad happens and nobody spoke up, like I'll get very mad at people, like why are we not speaking here? Things of this nature.
Seems pretty intense.
No, you're fine.
A lot of people.
It's passion.
Do you get guild members that burn out? Do you get players that feel burnt out after, a few months? How do you deal with that?
So, like, my guys don't tend to get burnt out. We're more just bored. Like, everybody is kind of in the same tone. Like, if this game had 5,000 players in a competitive atmosphere, we would play all day. Simply nobody wants to play competitively anymore. The game has kind of reached this precipice of like casualness, but like not casualness at the same time. Like people are more concerned about like kills to death, pug farming, winning. They don't care about even fights, competitive fights, meeting in a variety of circumstances to fight. So nobody's really concerned about that. So I think everybody just they don't burn out, they bore out. If that makes sense. Like, I can keep people engaged if we had stuff in front, but we don't really have stuff in front, and it's very difficult to keep the game flowing, if you will. Now, when the game's like really good, and it does hit these ebbs and flows of like, oh, suddenly a new group appears and they want to be competitive, and I will bend over backwards to work with them. Like, what do you need from me? I want to help you. Like, whatever it takes, please. Like, just play the game, stick around, don't quit on me. I'm desperate sometimes.
That's starting to sound like a second job to me. I like to not over optimize everything. Sometimes I feel like, some of the best warbands I've had were the messy ones that didn't go right. Let people joke around, and it's definitely a completely different way of playing. So I really like hearing, how other warbands, other guilds.
I'll say this to piggyback off of you for a moment. That's a really interesting statement, because I think you'd find with us, the more kind of skilled and second nature and how drilled people are in the prep, you kind of can't play in that environment and just have fun. Like, we make a lot of jokes, we have a lot of fun. It's not just one person screaming at 11 other people, get better. Like, we classically always say, a lot of screaming, not a lot of improving, right? Like, don't like to be screaming at people or anything like this. So you join, it's a lot of fun. I definitely cater to a certain crowd within the game. Like, if you want to be competitive,
I would say, yeah.
Yeah. And I get guys, and I don't ask for loyalty. Like, you got to stay in this guild forever. Like, I don't ask that at all. It's like, hey, if you're having fun and you like this environment, this is what we're about. This is what we'll always be about. There'll be consistency to it. The only thing I can't promise to people anymore is content. Like, I don't know. Like, I really don't know. I try my best, but content has dwindled quite a bit.
And when you say content, you mean players to fight against competitively.
People to play against, right?
People to play against, yeah. Like, things to do. It's a PvP game.
I think that just has to do with the amount of availability of other games and expansion releases and stuff like that. So, in a couple of months, it'll switch back and forth. So, that's my belief anyway. We really talked about warband play and organization and burnout. But to get back to what you do as a leader, of a warband leader, a guild leader, people that are looking to join a more competitive environment like you. Obviously, you're a headhunter. Them coming and looking for you is not exactly going to be easy for them to join you. But what would you tell another player that's looking to join a guild like yours? What should they be looking for?
Knowledge. Like, you want the guy you play for to be probably the mechanics can't be can sometimes be there, not be there, but you really want somebody who's grasping a lot of the knowledge. Simply, they just know how every role works in the game, both sides, tank, healer, DPS. Then they also know how to execute those roles. Like, simply, sometimes I get annoyed with people on DPS, and I'll just be like, all right, get off the roll for a minute. I'm gonna get on the roll, and I'm gonna show you what I want. Right? I want this. And then we can have an argument if they think something's a little better. But I'm tending to hey, dumb it down. These are the two buttons I want you to press. I don't want to go to the kill board later, look at a kill, and you're pressing any random button you want. So I would say it's very much just knowledge. If you're looking for a guild or warband leader, you want that guy to just know his stuff. I mean, it's like going to work and your boss doesn't know what he's talking about, and you're just like, why am I wasting my time with this? I need to look for a new job. And then you get a new boss, and it's a breath of fresh air when he knows exactly what he's talking about,
That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
In a game, when we're talking about not making it turn into a job, it's a good analogy.
I mean, you know, there's a pleasure in, like, I think I've always enjoyed the work.
Competency.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy the work, right? I enjoy the learning, the pushing, the getting better, the what can we do better, the all that stuff. And that's just that's a unique thing that I don't think a lot of people in Roar could ever offer. Simply put.
I think the skill floor, the barrier to entry for the game is pretty low. Anybody can hop in, do T1, learn how to play incorrectly, and then join a warband at 16. It's very easy to get into. So I mean, I could agree with you. There's not a lot of people that are willing to share the knowledge and help people grow.
No.
There are some people out there that are willing to share their knowledge, and we appreciate you coming on and sharing everything that you know.
Definitely.
Hopefully you can share some more information at a later date. But we're gonna keep this going in the guilds discussion. What do you think a red flag for players looking to join a guild is? Let's just stay away from this guild.
My perception of this, and this is just kind of a direct thing I see a lot in the game, is I would avoid anything that's overly corporatized. Like, I like to call it HR speak, if you will. Joining a guild, and then you join the Discord, and there's like rules that are like almost written by ChatGPT, and you're like, what? Kind of like, guys come home from work, they want to have, I personally want to have like a laid back atmosphere, or I just want to be able to like have fun with it still at the end of the day.
But still yell at people because they're not pressing the right two buttons.
I mean, you could yell at people, but you need to know.
Poking fun, just poking fun.
Yeah, but you need to know when to apologize. Like, I definitely go to guys like when I feel like I've been too harsh. I'm like, sorry, like, just kind of heat of the moment, my bad. Like, I don't mean anything personal by it. And you kind of water in the bridge. Like, knowing how to apologize is a huge skill in life, right? You need to know that.
I'm not gonna yell at you, but if you don't press these two buttons, you're fired.
Well, I've never kicked anybody, and I don't believe in kicking people, so I don't really fire them. I just I've
kicked like a couple people.
I mean, it's like having a good boss. Like, you want your boss when you screw up to like take you back in the office and be like, hey, like, that was a screw up. That was a big screw up. I'm gonna eat it for you. But like, it's all good. Like, just do better next time, right? And I guess I kind of want to do the same thing. Sorry, I kind of derailed from the question.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Red flag though would be definitely. I hate the overly corporatized speech. I don't like that. I don't like when groups. My personal red flag is we're trying to be competitive and we're not playing every aspect of the game. You see this a lot right now, where like, oh, we're a competitive guild. Oh, we're this. Oh, we're that. And then, oh, we're trying to be good. And it's like, okay, then why are we not queuing City? Why are we not doing 6v6? Why can't we not play SCs? Oh, hey, this group logged in. They're playing scenarios same time as us, and we can't beat them, so we call it. Like, that to me, I hated that. I've been in situations where like, oh, hey, we're gonna stop now because this other group logged in and we can't beat them. And I'm like, no, like, I want to play them. I want to know.
I absolutely hate that.
Yeah.
Every time GG's on the field, Destro just kind of folds over and it pisses me off. And it's just the time of day. There's no active warband leaders, and it's just kind of a dead time for NA. He logs in, there's no warband leaders, and then Destro just evaporates and they run away scared just because of one player. And I get it, he's a good dude and he's a good player, but just because you can't win doesn't mean that you stop playing.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't like it. Just because one dude's online, everybody stops playing is not cool.
Bank and GWU, like, every time Mercy logs on, a lot of the war bands that have been run are to time with some of the bigger NA or
Yeah, we
Warbands
fight
at the same
we
time.
fight Mercy all the time, but he's on when we're on. I'm not talking about that like specifically. I'm talking about like we don't have leaders on when GG logs on. I haven't seen him in a while. Apparently he's been on recently, but um, I just don't like when warbands fold to one guy. Um, you can learn a lot from playing against players like GG, but you have to want to. You can't just get steamrolled one time and then just quit. I get it. It's not fun to lose all the time, but look inward. Look at your comp. Look at what you're doing. Look at what they're doing. Try to learn something and improve. And I don't know. You might actually start winning.
I'll say this.
It's just frustrating to me.
Yeah, I'll say this to be fair too. Like, there's definitely people I do not like fighting in RBR, not because, and I'll log off against them, not because I don't like fear them or anything, but it's more of just like, I know, like, I've played the game for years now. I know exactly how they play, and it's clear as day they do not want anything to do with like me or my group of guys, and they just want to have free access to pugs, and so you'll easily just run at them, and they'll run away. And it's like, well, these guys don't want to play today. And I'll just log
that too.
Yeah. So,
That's like the opposite of what I was.
it was definitely the
frustrated with,
opposite.
but that's definitely something to be frustrated about.
But there's two ends of the spectrum, right? Like, that's my end, that's your end, right? Like, people not wanting to be competitive and fight people, and then me being like competitive and people not wanting to fight me, right? Like, we're on the just opposite ends of the spectrum, trying to find a middle ground where we can't necessarily all the time. And that is probably the most frustrating part about the game. Like, I would love nothing more than to fight people and just be given access to the content. But
if there were more players, you probably would.
Yeah.
So trying to find,
out.
trying to find that those fights, those fair fights.
Not even fair necessarily. I don't mind fighting outnumbered, strictly speaking. Like 2v1, 3v1, these are fine to me. Just simply like, let's play the game. But a lot of times I'm denied even that.
So we've gone a little bit off topic here, and that's perfectly all right, guys. Like we want to keep this interesting and keep the conversation rolling, but for people that are interested in what Sigon does and what he has to say, Sigon, what do you think players can do to find a good guild right now? Like you said, you think there's only 2 really good competitive guilds, but let's say, for instance, that there's one hiding out there that you are not aware of. What can a player do? What should they look for? How can they find that guild that's right for them?
I would say right now, honestly, if I were looking for a guild, I would join like Reichwatch by Hasmi, or
Good dude. Good dude.
Yeah, I like Hasmi a lot, and then I don't know. I think that'd probably be it for me. I like Pax Mortis, to be honest. Like, they play the game. I really enjoy the atmosphere with those guys. They just log in, play, and they don't really care about anything else. I think if you were looking for a guild, there's really not many options. Like, it's just a lot of mega guilds right now. Like, you could probably even attest to this. Like, Goblins Workers Union is like a very large guild. I think like on the kill board you guys have 400 members. You probably in your Discord have upwards of 50 to 80 people, maybe.
We got a lot of people. We were capped at 500 for quite a while until we started weeding people out that didn't join in and stopped recruiting.
It is a large guild. We cater to a different type of community.
Right.
It's not a competitive
it's more
guild.
of the hey, you guys are just joining. Come join us. We'll show you the ropes. We'll help you out, get your gear, have fun. It's a lot more relaxed.
Teach you the basics.
Right. It's a lot more relaxed, I feel like, than the top guilds that you're talking about. But we do try to bring some good fights in the
For sure.
lakes.
For sure. I mean, so I was just gonna add to it is like there is this like thing now that I've noticed that's kind of a newer thing where it's just a lot of very large guilds. So you kind of just have to like think about what you want, right?
Yeah,
Like,
and not everybody likes a large guild.
yeah, so it's like
which is perfectly all right.
yeah, so like with the large guilds that do exist, it's like do you want one that does RVR all day? Do you want one that maybe offers a little bit more competition than is given elsewhere? Like, because those definitely kind of exist. I would just argue, my argument right now is pretty much every guild right now is centered on one piece of content in the game, maybe two, which is RVR and PvE. It's pretty much a dying thing to be
What else
focused
is
on
there?
since-
Yeah, I was about to say crafting
I mean,
guilds, trader
We
guilds.
have
Crafting guilds?
FCs, we have City, we had 6v6, but it's kind of dead, but you can still kind of 6v6 in
do
open
people
lakes
still
whenever
play
you want.
City?
Yeah.
People do.
If there's a fort happening, no, which happened last night, but
But you know, like if that makes sense, like so, I think you just got to figure out what do you want to play, and then after that, it's like then you kind of have to pick your poison.
community.
Like, yeah.
What community do you like the best?
Because if you're not doing the things you want to do, right, like then it's kind of you're wasting your time because you're just going to end up frustrated. You're going to end up annoyed. You're going to be like, well, we're not doing the things I want to do.
Right.
I definitely was in that world of things with a variety of different guilds in the past, and I simply wanted to do my own thing. And I just went out and did my own thing. I think there could be, I think that's honestly something I wish more people would do. Is like, you're annoyed that people aren't doing exactly what you want, then go out there and make it.
Exactly. I completely agree with that. That's a really, really good statement.
Yeah.
You already hit on my next, the question I was going to ask. Should you join a larger guild or tighten it one? Like, you just answered that great. Find what you like. And there's plenty of both. There's plenty of both, guys. You can join large guilds like GWU, like
there's Retribution.
Retribution.
There's
they have a
Reich Watch.
So like, yeah, I don't know all the order guilds, like, but there are large guilds out there, and there are the tight knit, close guilds that exist that are more catered to smaller man content. You just gotta look for them. Shep, did you have anything else?
Yeah. So, we talked a little bit about you. Do you play primarily Order?
I have more renown on all my characters on Destro than I do Order.
Really? So you kind of play both?
Yeah. Like, yeah. Continue, sorry.
How do you feel about the current PvP balance, considering you play both sides?
Small scale is leaning Order. Large scales, I think it's leaning Order as well. I think Destro has taken a lot of nerfs and doesn't have a lot of classes that can compete. Compared to their counterparts. Yeah, compared to their counterparts on Destro.
So the way we see it on Destro's side is like Destro is melee focused while Order is ranged focused. Do you feel like that has play in what makes Order stronger right now?
No. I actually think like range is range is strong for sure, but I don't think ranged is so omnipresent that it's like good either. Like in the meta of things, like ranged at its core will always need somebody to peel for it, right? Like create space. What creates space in melee, right? So yeah, there's a lot of people that play ranged on Order. I don't think ranged is like inherently better than melee because of that. I think some classes on the ranged component are very strong right now for a variety of reasons, but I don't think it's because of that. I think strictly speaking, like Choppa has been gutted to the floor, Marauder has been gutted to the floor.
Damn it, Tally!
White Lion got semi-gutted, but it did not get pushed to like what makes it strong, which is its hypermobility. It still exists.
Oh
be a
yeah, I can
hypermobile
never catch
character.
a damn lion. They start running, they're gone.
Yeah,
Our animal.
they're just
He's
the
good.
complete.
He
Yeah,
is
like
good.
any
Love
class
Animal.
on Destro is just like kind of gapped compared to Order right now. Like Order like has two of the best tanks in the game. It has the best healer by far in the game right now, which is probably Warrior Priest, and then AM is very good, and Rune Priest is exceptional. Destro really doesn't have access to the tools that Order healers have. Destro tanks, besides Black Orc, do not have good tools right now. Cobbs is by far the most is easily probably the strongest tank in the game. Then maybe it's Blork, then Ironbreaker, in my opinion. Melee side of the game, White Lion is White Lion. Mobility reigns supreme.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing. I can hear your cat in the background.
Yeah, so
Keep going. Keep going.
But yeah, so like
Categories.
I think on all aspects of the game, Order is superior currently. Small scale, large scale. I think the balance patch has been catastrophe. In my honest opinion, like the melee balance patch did nothing to move the needle in any direction. Bit of a kind of boring thing. Like with me, we've been playing White Lion Mara for 2 years, right? Before the balance patch to the melee. And what did we come out of that into now is great. We're playing more White Lion Mara. It didn't change much. Witch Hunter, we are very strong classes right now, but they.
Oh yeah. After that patch, like that's when the Warband
many
witch hunters started popping up again.
So many.
I was roaming around once, and I remember like a 24 mana witch hunter just popped up, and I'm like, oh great, I'm dead.
Yeah, like,
Yeah. There's no roaming. You can't solo or duo roam anymore.
Without running
It
into
doesn't
2, 3,
exist.
4 witch hunters or witch elves on the other side.
that's completely gone. So, I mean, Witch Hunter, very strong class. That was probably the best thing that happened to the balance, but like that was one case out of 4.
8.
Yeah, I think it was very good. I wish that every other class would get the same treatment that Witch Hunter and Witch Elves got. That was fantastic.
Yeah, I think the healer patch was a tremendous success. Like
It was
still
horrible.
recovering.
I hated
the
it.
healer
When it
pass.
first came out, Rune Doc, Rune Archmage, until they fixed it. They
I don't
fixed
think
it.
they needed.
They did. They
With-
came out with a bunch of extra patches afterwards that made changes to how things
For
work. I guess it didn't work as intended when the healer patch first came out.
So my argument to that would just simply be like right now, we're still uncovering things with the healer patch. It moved the needle in such a wild direction. Changed all the class mechanics for Rune Priest or for Doc and Warrior Priest.
Oh
with the
yeah,
players,
yeah.
right?
Doc is fantastic now, but that didn't happen at the healing patch. That happened in follow-up patches where they made small. I followed it because I played Doc and I played Archmage
So it's
primarily.
good now.
It's good now, but when the healing patch hit, it ruined
It was
the
rough.
2 classes that I played. But it's better now. I play Doc only pretty much because I think where it sits now is perfect. And I wish it was like that when the healer patch dropped.
I would argue Doc is kind of a bit of a hard class to incorporate right now.
It's a hard class to play.
I wouldn't know. So my thing with the game is like 3 easiest healers to play: Shaman, Doc, AM. 3 hardest healers to play are Rune Priest, Zealot by a mile, and then I would argue Warrior Priest because you have a lot of tools to be omni-aware of at the same time. I don't think it's a hard class to play. I think it falters because of the class design is kind of like
A
Warrior
double
Priest
resource
is
mechanic.
yeah, but just the Warrior Priest is so strong, given all of its tools. So yeah, I mean, like the meta discussion could be like an hour, honestly.
It could.
If you want to
It
really
could.
dive into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll save it for
let's-
now.
Well, then
talk
then
about
let's
that next
just
time.
summarize it real quick. What's the current meta for an organized warband right now? If you could have the perfect group composition,
24.
On both sides.
24.
24,
24.
sure.
And why is it Bright Wizard?
Destro, Destro.
It's a
I think I'm playing 8 to 10 Blorks. I'll go into Y10. I'll play 8 to 10 Blorks. I'll play 4 Maras, a DPS Shaman, and 2 Wees. So that's 3 Maras, 1 Shaman, 2 Wees. I'll play 4 Zealots, 4 Docs, and
Zealots, Surge's favorite healer.
Yeah, 4 Zealots, 4 Docs, and probably 2 Heal Shamans. And then I would move 2 of the Docs into Shield Doc into their own party so they have permanent guard from Blork. Shield Doc and Shield Warrior Priest are the best AoE healer in the game.
Thank you!
Yeah, this class is so overperforming every other healer in the
Bank
game.
Tally, are you guys listening to this?
They've never disagreed with you.
I know.
Yeah, if you just simply get a Shield Doc and get him a guard, and you say, "Hey, go heal," this class performs. It performs like no other.
Yes.
The problem with the class is people play traditional 2-2-2-24. I think the meta has moved where that is no longer a requirement. I think you only need 4 DPS to wipe a 24 man. In front, that's enough damage on paper if like the execution's well. I think you need to think about bringing more utility to the table. How do we work in that utility? Melee Squig is another class I didn't include, but like you could easily drop a Wii for a Melee Squig at any time. I wouldn't play Choppa. I wouldn't play Sork at all anymore. I think these classes are full dead. I think they're for fun classes. Like if you definitely enjoy them, like cool, but understand they are not good. Order, I would play. Honestly, Order is gonna be like
fighting
boring.
Words.
Order would be really boring, because I would honestly, if I was making, I think there's a lot of experimentation you could do.
24 Witch Hunters. I mean,
no. Boiling down Order, I think it would be 4 Cobbs, 4 IB, maybe an SM, maybe not. 7 White Lions and a Shadow Warrior. Probably
7 White Lions.
Yeah, and then
legit.
For healing, I would play 4 Roonies, 2 AMs, 2 Warrior Priests.
I don't know.
Like
I've been blown up by Bright Wizards a lot lately.
I think that's because you're standing in the wrong spot. You need to. Bright Wizard damage is the easiest damage to avoid in the game. You can avoid it. White Lions, like again, you are the most mobile, hyper mobile.
They're all over the place.
You have all the tools on this class. You can grind, you can burst, you can do everything. You're a 3.5k armored class. You have high HP. You have no class mechanic at all. This class is absurdly strong. If you play,
and that's after nerfs.
It's after the nerfs. I think it got even stronger. I think the nerfs completely missed the mark. I think because the balance team as a whole doesn't understand the class or doesn't play the class. But yeah, White Lion is so oppressive when performing well. Yeah, I mean, honestly, we have arguments all the time of when we're playing 12 is why are we not playing 4 White Lions right now? We could wipe everybody in front if we played 4 White Lions in front. It's just such a good class. That's an RVR kind of thing. In City, we change it up. Witch Hunter supersedes White Lion. 6v6. White Lion takes a back seat to Witch Hunter and DPS Warrior Priest. And the same on Destro, in my opinion, is probably going to be Wii DPS Doc at the moment. Depending on the environment, but in an open environment, RVR, White Lion is king.
Great.
Yeah. I
good
think,
insights.
I think that is a really, really good thing for us to look at when we start doing our warbands again, Shep.
Oh yeah.
What do you think?
Agreed.
So we're getting a little short on time. Man, a lot of questions here.
Well, let's close it up for now, because we can have Sigon on again, and we could bring him into one of our streams or something.
Let's do this. One more question. And I think I know what you're gonna say because we had a conversation about this before. Why does Return of Reckoning still work in 2026?
It does dish to the Trinity the best of any PvP MMO I've ever played. I traditionally have tried PvP in every MMO I've played, and I hated it. I did not like it. It was not enjoyable. The bones in which Mythic has kind of produced of like tank healer DPS synergies are fantastic, and I think it works on that level. I think by and large, the game is pretty stale right now and has been in a stale spot for a long time, in desperate need of change. I think it's hard to argue why to play it sometimes, because I think we're all just waiting for things to happen and they haven't happened yet. I look forward to things happening. I look forward to maybe groups deciding one day, hey, we don't want to be KDA players anymore. Hey, we don't want to be like just farming pugs anymore. We want to push ourselves. We want to see if we're better than you. Things of that. I look forward to that immensely, and I'm hopeful that one day that does change. But yeah, the structure of the game, the bones, are phenomenal. Phenomenal.
I agree.
So that's me. Yeah.
Great. I agree. I love it.
Yeah. And then real quick, if we're done, I'd like to real quick just hamper one point is you guys should all check out Fisk UI, because I'll link the Discord to you guys and maybe put in the video. Fisk UI is having a new release coming Friday, April 3rd, some point in the day, I don't know.
Tomorrow, today,
yeah,
that you guys are watching.
Tomorrow,
send us a link, and
whichever.
we'll put it in the description. Check down below, guys.
Yeah,
Fisk
we
UI.
will. You can see it on my podcast right now. I'm running a video from Sigon. What they were doing City. He has the Fisk UI. You can edit a lot of the stuff. I've been playing with it the last couple of days. I'm going to give it a fair shake and give you my my recommendations after the next couple
hate
of
it.
weeks. I mean, so far I'm liking it.
It's
I've
got a
had to
lot,
move some
Sigon.
things around. I've had to move some things around, but it's got the information that I need. As a tank, it's phenomenal. It's got everything I need where I need it. I just needed to move a couple of things. But
I do agree. It has so much good information that the base game leaves out. It really fills in a lot of gaps. I just prefer not to have so much information on my screen at once.
If I could just expand on that really quick, like every single person in my guild, minus I think one person, uses Fisk UI. I highly recommend it. We work on it a lot. It's a ton of input from all the guys. It's a ton of input from the community. If you think the UI needs something, it's a public Discord. You can simply voice your concerns. You can voice opinions. There's a simple ask questions about how to get more familiar with the UI.
That's awesome.
You can, a lot of commitment and time and energy have been putting to it by Fisk and a host of other people. I can't recommend it enough. If you feel like you are struggling to learn the game on any level, like this UI should open your mind up to like a lot of information. Like you said, it is information overload. I think it's not. I think the more you play with it, the more you'll recognize like, oh, hey, that's why it's there. Oh, hey, I understand that now.
It takes a couple of weeks for your brain to start processing the information and being able to pick out what you need and focus on what's happening. Like, I'm sure the people that are playing with it on a consistent basis can look at what they need the moment they need it, and because all the information is central to the screen where your eyes normally are anyway. It's for a competitive gamer, you want everything in the middle. You want as much information as possible. When you first start playing with it, it's going to drive you crazy. Because you're so used to having nothing in the middle of your screen except for your character.
No information.
But that's where your eyes are, and that's where the information needs to be. So it's set up optimally for, in my opinion, for tanking. It's amazing. I just had to move a couple of things out of the way. Just to the side, not completely removed. But
So
Yeah, I
far,
mean-
I'm liking it.
A lot of work has been put into like where things are on your screen, and then thus putting like pivotal information centerfold, making sure that like just simple things like that are working at a top level. And I mean, it's not perfect, but it can only get better with more people using it, more people having a voice, more input. Things like this. If you're tired of Vinny UI, which maybe gets updated every 5 years, look towards Fisk, which I mean, maybe we're like 6 months on an update, maybe it's 3 months on an update, maybe it's a year on an update, but it does get updated. Normally it's never a year. It's pretty consistent, but yeah, definitely
good
would
stuff.
recommend it very much. Yeah.
Well, thank
thanks,
you
Sigon.
again. And
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's going to
appreciate
wrap up today's episode. Go ahead, sir.
Huge thanks to Sigon. Huge thanks to Sigon for joining us and sharing his insights. A lot of value there for everybody looking to improve their leadership or maybe their quality of play, or even trying to find the right guild.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. Thanks so much.
I've got the Discord link. I'll be sure to post it. If you guys enjoyed the episode, make sure to like, subscribe, drop a comment letting us know your thoughts about Fisk UI, comments for Sigon. We could reach out to him. Any questions, or what you'd like us to cover next.
Yep, and if you're out there in the lakes, good luck with your warbands, with your next fights. We're going to see you on the battlefield.
Yeah, thanks for listening, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.
Peace.